Hi, and welcome to NittanyCow Tutorial 2, Creating Mixes and Managing User Feeds. This 5-minute tutorial will show you how to create and use mixes and user feeds in NittanyCow. For more specific information on anything you see here, please consult the NittanyCow help file or visit our website www.nittanycow.com to contact customer support. Let's begin by looking at an existing ration. Often dairy operations will utilize one or more premixes in a ration. To create a mix, highlight the feeds you wish to include by clicking the blank space to the very left of the first feed name. Then hold down the control button to select all other desired feeds. The feeds do not have to be listed in consecutive order to be included in the mix. Now that the feeds have been highlighted, right-click on any of the feeds and choose the Create Mix option. In the Mix window, enter a mix code. You can use a date or any other number you wish. NittanyCow will use this number to identify the feed in the database, but the user will never see it. If you enter a number that is a duplicate of another mix code, NittanyCow will add a 1 to that number, so don't be overly concerned with entering a unique mix code. Next, enter a mix name. This will be the name that identifies the mix to the user, and it can also be anything you wish, as long as you remember which mix belongs to which mix name. Now we need to select the mix type and class. This will designate where the mix is stored when we copy the mix to user mixes a little later in this tutorial, but it does not affect the values or composition of the mix, so please don't be overly concerned with choosing options that exactly match your mix. Once this information has been entered, click OK. The mix has now been created. Notice that the individual ingredients in your mix have seemed to disappear, and they have been replaced by the mix at the bottom of the feed list. If you want to see what ingredients are in the mix, you can do so by right-clicking on the mix name and select the Show Feeds Unmixed option. All the feeds in the mix are now listed individually, but they are highlighted in gray to show that they are part of a mix. To condense the feeds back into a single mix, right-click and select the Show Feeds Mixed option. Now let us suppose that we need to change proportions in the mix. From the Show Feeds Mixed view, right-click on the mix name and select the Edit Selected Mix option. Only the ingredients in the mix will be displayed, but totals and concentrations for the entire ration will still be listed at the bottom of the screen. Here you can change any of the values for any feed in the mix, and you can see how they affect the total formulation of the ration. When you are done making the desired changes, right-click on any feed in the mix and select the Close Mix option. This will return you to your ration. Now that we have the individual feeds and mixes adjusted, we often would like to formulate a total mixed ration, or TMR. To do this, select all the feeds and mixes to be included in the TMR and create a mix in the same manner as before. For type and class, select TMR. Once the mix is created, you can change the total intake of the ration on a dry matter or as-fed basis, and NittanyCow will recalculate the feed levels for each feed or mix in the ration. If at any point you want to undo a mix, right-click on the mix name and select the Unmixed Selected Mix option. This will erase the mix from the ration and return the individual feeds to the ration feeds list. You can also delete a selected mix, but be careful because this will also erase those feeds from the ration. Also, make sure you remember the difference between the Unmixed Selected Mix and Show Feeds Unmixed options. Showing feeds unmixed will not undo the mix. Unmixing a selected mix will completely erase the mix from the ration. Now that we've got all our mixes and feeds properly adjusted, we'd like to save some of these feeds and mixes for use in other rations. We can do this simply and easily by saving the desired ingredients to user feeds or user mixes. Right-click on the feed or mix name you wish to save, and select the Copy to User Feeds or Copy to User Mixes option. Note that you will need to be in the Show Feeds Mixed view to use this option for mixes. When you select this option, NittanyCow will notify you that the feed or mix was copied to user feeds. This means it is now available for use in other rations, so let's do that. Here is a different ration I created earlier, and I would like to add the rock mix that I created in the previous ration. To add a user mix, go to Feeds and select Add a Mix. For source, I will select User. Lastly, I save this mix as a mineral, so I will select the vitamins and minerals feed type. Now I can see my mix, which I will select, and click OK. The ration now contains my customized rock mix. This same process works for user feeds as well. From the ration menu, select Add a Feed, highlight the user source, and find your customized feed. Once a feed or mix has been added to a ration, it can be adjusted or manipulated the same as any feed from any other source. This convenient feature allows users to make adjustments to their most commonly used feeds and mixes without having to make the same adjustments in every single ration. This concludes Tutorial 2. Please visit www.NittanyCow.com to watch online tutorials of other important NittanyCow features.